This is Shihan Tim Leard, and you're watching Karate Talk with Shihan and Shihan. Shihan Sipes, Jeremy Sipes, he's not able to join us today, but I am going to be joined here by Miss Mariah Farasika, another one of our peers and colleagues here at the dojo. So there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about today, and the first one is going to be mostly Mariah's take. So recently, she, along with many of the other employees and students, etc., went through something called a 21-day Sugar Detox. So I'm going to ask her a bunch of questions. She's going to hopefully share some experiences about that. So first of all, can you give everybody just a kind of a reminder of what that means, all right? What are the parameters? What did you do?
Okay, so basically during the sugar detox that we did for 3 weeks, we eliminated refined sugars and most natural sugars as well. That included fruit, which is really difficult for me. And the idea of it was to reset the palate and kind of remove those sweet foods from the palate and get used to eating things that were not so sweet. That was the justification for taking away the fruit, which at first I was like, what do you mean you want me to not eat fruit? So for me, it was really interesting. It was kind of a challenge. I was mostly doing it to be supportive of my coworkers who were also doing the challenge. And to be
That's very admirable.
And to be supportive of our Satori Fit students. So it was very interesting.
Yeah. So what would you say was the hardest part of it?
For me, the hardest part of it was not eating grains, because we were not eating any wheat, corn, any oats, any other grains like that. So that was a huge change to what I usually eat, along with removing fruit from my diet.
So regarding the grains, it was obviously a change. Did it make you realize how much that was in your diet? Was it like, absolutely. Oh, I was eating more of this than I thought?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Interesting.
And then the nice thing is, like, after the first week or so, it got to be not easy, but relatively normal to not have that stuff. And I kind of had a routine with my food prep and making a lunch that was compliant and making sure that I had snacks. You know, I was able to eat nuts, and I was on a level where I was still eating dairy, so I could get protein from those sources.
So there were multiple levels of participation.
Yeah, there were 3 different levels.
Decide how in you are.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. So I chose to go on the first level, which is the easiest level.
Okay, easy mode.
Yes. So
cool. Well, now that you're through, what kind of results did you experience?
You know, I actually was sleeping a lot better during the sugar detox. I did lose some weight. That wasn't actually one of my goals, because I was okay with where I'm at, but I did lose 4 pounds during the 3 weeks of the sugar detox, even though I was really eating a lot of meat and cheese. And what else? For me, it was kind of like nice to see that I could have that willpower and actually get through the 3 weeks of making such a big change to what I was eating.
Sure, yeah. So I think that anything that you do that's hard for 21 days is going to have some sort of mental and psychological benefit as far as your willpower and things like that. What, if anything, are you specifically, what are you going to allow to be changed going forward? Is there anything you're going to take with you from this experience?
Yeah, I think I actually felt a lot better not having the wheat and corn that I normally would be eating. I noticed that, you know, my hands were not swollen, like I can take my ring on and off a lot more easily. And I had known just from some previous tests that I had that like wheat and corn are not necessarily good for my personal body. So it was good for me just seeing like it is possible to go without eating those things. So.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you very much, and good job to everybody else out there who participated in that 21-day sugar detox. Hopefully, you got at least a little bit out of it, and then also were able to take something forward from it. And maybe make even a small change done over time can end up having nice big results. Now, the second thing that we're going to be speaking about today is cross-training, and I'm going to ask Mariah a little bit about her experiences with that as well. But what I'm talking about is cross-training in different multiple physical activities, athletic activities, sports is a nice way to sum it up. So there's a lot of different kinds of sports that people can be participating in, especially children, right? So we know a lot of our martial arts students here are also baseball players or swimmers or soccer players, right? Gymnasts, competitive dancers, lots of different things, and of course across all the different ages. And it can be sometimes be a challenge for people and families to juggle multiple activities. But there are some clear benefits to this kind of cross-training. So, and I know that Mariah has some experience to speak of, not as a martial artist and also as a parent. So the first thing I want to open with is that at one time we did a research survey of all of our COVAR's parents, and one of the things that we got back, and the majority, and I forget the exact percentage, it was something like 70-75% of parents reported an increase in coordination, athletic ability as a result of martial arts.
Yeah, and that particular statistic was actually 99% of our participant families said
it was
that
better than I thought.
Yeah, they saw an increase in coordination and balance in their students. And one of the nice things about our program is we have classes 6 days per week. It's an open schedule, so even if a family has been going to, say, Monday and Wednesday classes all along, you can go anytime between Monday and Saturday to fit in with whatever other sports your student is doing.
Sure.
And all of the character training and development portions of the curriculum that we teach here really helps with the other sports, like the self-discipline, the focus, motivation, building good habits. All of those things carry over not only into schoolwork and home, but it helps with other sports as well. So being able to train here in the dojo and having that flexible schedule allows you to really make strides in the other activities that you participate in.
Yeah, so overall health and physical performance is more and more people are realizing it's not a specialist game so much, right? All the best top athletes in every discipline tend to do some kind of cross-training, something outside of their exact sport to supplement the way that their body is developing, right? Strength training, mobility. And the nice thing about martial arts is we do kind of take a holistic approach, and in a martial arts class, we're kind of developing a little bit of all of those things. So if you're developing balance in martial arts class, that same balance is going to help you in whatever other sports you're going to be doing, coordination, mobility, all that kind of stuff. And one thing I'd like to also say about that is that, like Mariah said, the martial arts school, our martial arts school in particular, we have classes 6 days a week, and we have a relatively flexible schedule. So martial arts can be that one thing that is sort of the bedrock activity for a given student and individual, and especially talking about kids throughout the year. It's going to be the year-round thing that they know that they're always doing, and they're always going to be benefit from. Even year-round school has clear breaks, right? In traditional schools, we have the big summer break, right? So there's going to be times of year where even school, which is, every kid's number one priority is school. That's, everybody's in there, right? Even that activity is not necessarily year-round, right? So martial arts provides that nice year-round structure where it's something that they're always doing, even outside of seasonal sports. Generally, sports have some kind of season, and some of them are very, very long and do take up a great chunk of the year. Yeah. Yes. Even when those sports are off-season, we have martial arts as that one through line, that bedrock activity that's always there. And there's been scientific research recently that indicates that in addition to school, which we know that everybody's doing, it's a good idea to put or participate for kids in 2 other activities, right? Partially because they get the experience of sort of balancing, right? So all adults need to balance multiple activities and responsibilities in their lives, and kids get trained to do that. But the research also shows that you can go overboard, and by trying to do more than 2 things, that tends to break down, right? So school plus 2 other things, and why not make one of those 2 other things martial arts? And again, be able to do that all throughout the year.
Yes, and one of the things I've loved as a karate mom all of these years, because my son's been in the program for 6 years, there's air conditioning in the summer. It doesn't rain in here in the winter.
We never get rained out in
Yes,
karate.
It's really awesome. So as a parent, carrying a child around to different activities, this is one of my favorites because the families here are wonderful to talk with. It's a great community, and the weather is always great inside the dojo.
Absolutely. So there's the value of cross-training. So regardless of what other activities you have in your life, if you're in martial arts, great. Make sure that you keep on doing it because the benefits are going to continue to pile up. If you're not in martial arts, but you happen to be watching this, hopefully you're at least considering it, and we would love you to stop by and maybe try us out sometime. All right, so thanks for watching today. This has been Karate Talk with Shihan, and today Miss Ferris Higa, and we'll see you next time.